Hey guys, Bella here, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about my experience with the Nexplanon birth control. This is a hormone implant that lasts for 3 years. I'm going to talk to you about getting the procedure done, what it feels like to get one put in, what it feels like to get your old one taken out and have a new one put in, some of the side effects, the cost of it, the availability, and just any information that I think might be useful to someone considering this form of birth control. So it's actually been 3 days since I got this put in, and it's healed up pretty much completely. It's not hurting anymore. It's pretty much just got a little bit of a bruise, and it's healing up really nicely. So I just got a new one put in. They do last for 3 years, so I just had to go get my new one put in, and it was a relatively easy procedure. They numbed me up pretty good, and it hurt. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, it hurt about a level of a 3. They do remove your old Nexplanon. It's really small, about the size of, a sucker stick, even smaller than that, maybe like a matchstick. So it's not very big. It just kind of sits in your arm on top of the skin. You can feel it if you look for it, but you won't really notice it once that scar heals up. I would say the worst part of getting the Nexplanon was the pain shot, the numbing shot, because once you get that, you really don't feel anything. You feel a little bit of pressure. You feel like the doctor digging around in your arm a little bit, which made me kind of nauseous, but overall it wasn't a bad experience. I was in and out of my doctor's office within an hour, and an hour for 3 years of birth control to me seems like, the best possible solution, but that's going to be for me. I have heard other people say that they had really bad side effects from Nexplanon, so you're really going to have to try it and see if it works for you. I've tried other things like an IUD, and personally that was a really bad experience for me, and I would not do that again. So Nexplanon is going to release the hormone progestin, and it's also going to thicken the mucus around your cervix. Now, I do want to talk about the cost just a little bit. I know most people getting this probably have insurance involved, but if you don't have insurance involved, it seems to be around $1,000 to $1,500, just depending on how and where you get the procedure. Even if it was $1,500, you're looking at $500 per year for birth control if you run that over the course of 3 years. I think one of the biggest pros to me is that it's more of like a leave it and forget it type of birth control. It is something that you don't have to take every day. You don't have to do it like a birth control pill or a birth control shot. I don't want anything that super is up to me, because personally I would forget to take it, or I would, miss an appointment or something like that. So for me, it's really not a good option. Another question that people seem to have is how fast will your fertility come back after you get it taken out? And I talked to the nurse about this a little bit, and she said that as soon as after a month or even sooner than that, you could become pregnant. So it's not hard to get your fertility back in order once you get it taken out. If you are waiting to have children and you want to wait X amount of years, or you change your mind or something like this is still going to be a good option for that. Now, obviously, one of the worst things about birth control is the side effects that it has on you, and I don't think any birth control is going to be without side effects. Personally, I've heard all kinds of horror stories about weight gain and about periods lasting for more than 20 or 30 days even, and I know that it just depends on the person who's taking the birth control. But for me personally, with Nexplanon, the side effects seem to be having wonky periods, basically not having a period for a couple of months, and then maybe having one that lasts 10 days. So it's not something that's super crazy or super, life altering. I would say at most it's a little bit annoying sometimes. Hopefully you're the one who just doesn't get to have a period at all. That's really the best case scenario if you ask me. I do want to stress that if the side effects are bad enough, you can get this taken out. I wouldn't suffer through it for several months, because I know that when you go to a lot of doctors, they don't seem to care about the side effects that people are experiencing, and they might say, oh, it's normal, or it's fine, or we have a lot of people say that. Don't really worry too much about what they're saying. Worry more about how it affects you and how you feel, because to be bleeding for weeks at a time or months at a time really isn't something that I would want to deal with personally. If that happened, I would probably just take it out and try something else. I also wanted to note in this video that I've been on Nexplanon for over 10 years. I've had really good luck with it. Never had any pregnancy scares. I've never had any issues. And I think that, it's just been my ride or die birth control, since I was younger. I've been using it, and I haven't seen any really horrible side effects for me. But personally, I've had friends who got on it and they absolutely hated it. So I think it is just one of those things that is just it's up to the person, it's up to how your body reacts to it. Another side effect people said was depression. This is obviously related to your hormones sometimes, and for me personally, I feel like I have pretty bad issues around the time that I'm supposed to have my period. Even if I don't have it, I still have, just that low mood or that low feeling of, just being kind of down and out. So I wouldn't say that this has made it any worse, but I can definitely say that it hasn't made it go away, but it's just something that's kind of always there for me. So like I said, as far as the healing went, it was a little sore for the first couple of days, and that first day it looked the worst. It was kind of like an oozy, open wound kind of situation. I just kept the Band-Aid on it, and then the second day I took it off and I took a shower and let it air out a little bit, and it healed up really well after that. So we were on 3 days after the procedure, and I'm not having any pain at all. I'm not having any issues with it, and I can just say that overall this is a really good form of birth control if you're someone who doesn't want to take a pill every day, and if you don't think that an IUD is a good fit for you and you don't want to take shots or something like that, this birth control could definitely work for you. But just keep in mind that it doesn't work the same for everybody. It has side effects. It's definitely not without error, and I think that that's one thing as women that we're constantly told, like, oh, you have to take this, you have to deal with that. And personally, I'm just not one to be dealing with things that I don't want to deal with. So I would say keep trying to find something that works for you. Keep trying to, find the right mix or the right concoction of things. I know personally a lot of people suffer from PCOS, or people suffer with irregular periods, so this could potentially be something that helps with that. Now, as far as availability goes, I believe you can get this pretty much at any gynecologist, OBGYN's office, but you can also get this from a nurse practitioner. If you guys have any questions or comments about this birth control, I would love to hear from you guys in the comment section below. I want to keep this short, and hopefully it was somewhat informative. I know it helps to kind of see the process of what you're going to be going through, because I want to know what's going to happen ahead of time. I'm just one of those people who looks up medical procedures before I have them done. So, some of us like to be informed, and so hopefully this video helped you a little bit with that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care.